You're listening to Party Nerds Weekly.
What's going on, everybody? This is James Grandmaster Facts Voice, and welcome to another weekend segment of Party Nerds News. So, as of a few days ago, it seems as though that Blade news that we talked about a couple of weeks ago has now turned into a full-blown ripple effect, because Lord only knows now the segment where Blade was basically supposed to come in as one of the final two films in Phase 5, it is now pushed everything down into 2026. So, Jorge, first thoughts?
There's got to be a scandal going on that they're trying to brush under.
Because I mean, the original segments were pretty much like this, and now no, because I put everything down in writing, because it was a lot of dates. So Blade is now moved from November 3rd, 2023 to September 6th, 2024. That's like almost a full year. And then basically after that, Deadpool 3, September 6th, 2024 to November 8th, 2024. That's not a big jump. That's only a few months. So it kind of just moved Deadpool 3 out of the way so that Blade would be there maybe like a couple months earlier. So you're going to have a Blade movie, and then 3 months later, you're going to get Deadpool 3.
Do you think they're all connected in some way?
Well, that's the thing. You know, normally they do. And there's this whole thing that I always think about with Feige having like this. He's got a PhD in fucking logistics, because he released Multiverse of Madness. It had an acronym for MOM, and he released it on Mother's Day, and it happened to be about Wanda and her kids. So that was kind of like, okay, wow. This motherfucker's like trying to like fit into pieces. He releases Moon Knight about, of course, one of the a character with a Jewish origin, but the whole thing was like based in Egypt. So he releases that around Ramadan, like the beginning of Ramadan, and it damn near ends at the end of Ramadan. So it was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? He's like doing all this shit like for a reason to kind of like fit everything on board.
Oh God, it's like National Treasure. Remember how every little thing is God damn.
Everything has a secret. But people fail to forget, like, we're pretty much at the end of Phase 4. Wakanda Forever is the end of Phase 4. We are now going into Phase 5. The very first movie in Phase 5 is Ant-Man 3.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, and of course, with not to say that we're getting our first appearance of Kang, but we're getting our first appearance of Kang, because the variant of He Who Remains from the Loki show on Disney Plus was merely just a variant of his that unfortunately had to die in order for him to appear.
Are we getting ripped Men's Health Kang?
Yo, Marvel Gym and their fucking subscriptions. Did you see what the hell was this? Men's Health magazine. John Majors, like it's the Kumail from fucking
from Eternals.
From Eternals. Like how big he got. Like
right?
Like I don't know what it is, and I heard what's his name, Will Poulter, who's going to be playing Adam Warlock in Guardians 3, is also now jacked. Yo, what is up with the Marvel Gym?
Dude, probably because I just like Thor, what's his face? They know that they're signed on for multiple movies, so I guess they have to sign an agreement that they have to stay within weight and then muscle mass and all that.
Really? They got the cocktail waitress weight reduction policy.
Yeah.
Only 2% body fat. You'll be weighed every month. They're like USADA for MMA fights and UFC.
Right? They're like conditioned for it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So to continue on now, okay, so Fantastic Four gets moved from November 8th, 2024 to Valentine's Day, 2025. There's an untitled Marvel movie in between, which got moved from Valentine's Day 2025 into November 7th, 2025. So that one's untitled. The only movie that did not move, there's only one, and it was Kang Dynasty, Avengers Kang Dynasty.
Wow.
Which
I
is
think
staying-
that's an intro or like a start of a new phase, right?
I'm not sure if it's the beginning of phase 6, but the way that I'm looking at it, Blade and Deadpool 3 are the end of phase 5.
Okay.
The beginning of phase 6 might be, if I'm looking at it correctly, no, Fantastic Four.
See, that's what sucks about these Marvel movies. One little movie delay can fuck up a whole phase.
Well, that's the thing. Like I do feel as though it hurts him in some favor because he's almost provoking this much content being put out there at one time. Disney Plus having like almost 4 shows in 2021, or was it 2020 when WandaVision came out, like at the beginning of December, and then it was just like a slew. It was like Captain America and Bucky, and then it was like it was the Loki show, and then it was like it was just going into a bunch of shit.
Bro, he must be stressed the fuck out.
And the movies were still going at the same time, and people even thought like the last 2 movies, Multiverse of Madness and Thor: Love and Thunder, were disappointing follow-ups.
Yeah, but here's the thing: so if these movies get delayed, what about the toys that are getting produced and made? Are they going to be on schedule?
If anybody that understands the spoiler culture, the first thing that people tend to flock to are the toys. The toys spoil everything, especially them fucking Lego sets. They'll have an action sequence on the front of a Lego box that will tell you exactly what characters are going to be in the movie, exactly what they look like. And you have you'll know everything you need to know. So what do? You just basically call Hasbro and be like, yo, man, y'all need to chill 3 months down the line, and then we're pretty much going to push this shit out. There's an awful big plot developing to this. All right, because there's this gap and there's this untitled movie. And with Blade and everything being pushed down, does it make room for something else that we're not seeing? The beginning of phase 5, I told you, starts with Ant-Man 3.
Yeah.
You'll have Guardians 3, you'll have the Marvels, you'll have Captain America 4, and then you'll have Thunderbolts. You'll have all that during that time.
Yep.
There's already been a Thor movie that's come out. There's already been a Doctor Strange movie that came out. And D23 and San Diego Comic-Con and New York Comic-Con have gone on and have done all their reveals. There's literally one superhero that's missing from the fold as to another movie being made.
Wait, do you think he did that on purpose, just in case delays happen and he has that movie ready to go to fire up?
That's the thought. So my question to you is, who's missing? It's somebody who already has movies.
Yeah. Or it could
Spider-Man.
be Spider-Man. Are you serious? You calling this right now? You're putting it on the internet right now. You're calling it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because No Way Home being the bash that it was, we heard absolutely nothing about another Spider-Man movie. We have no idea what Tom Holland's schedule is or what it reflects. We don't know if any talks are to be had or anything like that. But who knows if the story's already written?
Wait, it could be. Why couldn't it be with Garfield or Toby in his universe?
It could be, but the thing is, 2026, there's going to be 2025 to 2026. There's going to be 2 Avengers movies. 2.
Yep.
Avengers Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars. And the one person missing from the equation is Spider-Man.
It's interesting. But what if Kevin Feige decides to get a street or basically what he did to Guardians of the Galaxy, how they were like, sea level.
He could do that too. He's actually with him introducing the Thunderbolts. But the thing is, they're a ragtag group of anti-heroes and villains that are pretty much going to be bolstering up this lineup to possibly like give you kind of a Dark Reign deal. So it's going to be the Avengers versus them, which are pretty much almost like copycats or carbon copies of themselves in some type of movie. So like, you have all these characters. You have U.S. Agent, who is kind of like a carbon copy of Captain America. You have Abomination, who is kind of a carbon copy of the Hulk. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you have all these all these individuals that are pretty much out there. Now, what could happen in that meantime? But the thing is, the Young Avengers, all these Young Avengers that keep on popping up in these damn movies.
Yep.
They haven't announced a Young Avengers movie at all. So that might be it. And who knows if these Avengers movies are actually like full-blown Avengers movies, because it can't be. Cap's still up, might be 100 years old up in space. Iron Man's gone. T'Challa ain't there. Who are the Avengers at this point?
Dude, I don't know, man. It could be a wild card too. Gambit or someone,
But they keep introducing a lot of mutants, and of course they introduced Professor X and Multiverse of Madness to the point where, just like in the comics, he's no longer with us anymore. Well, that variant version of himself is no longer here anymore. But the thing is, it's still too soon for the mutants.
Really? Why?
It's still too soon, man. Because the arc is like, okay, you're going to give us Wolverine in a Deadpool 3 movie in 2024.
Okay.
So that's literally your first MCU X-Man in action. So like Professor X being on screen was the first person from the X-Men that appear on screen. Now, like I said, Professor X died. If Wolverine dies in Deadpool 3, like what do we have here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just gonna be like you have to introduce more people. You can't just have a full-blown X-Men movie and you've made no appearance of Storm, no appearance of Cyclops, no appearance of Rogue, no appearance of Jubilee. Well, if somebody's lighting firecrackers in the back, we know it's Jubilee.
Or Kitty Pryde.
It's true. Although there's a bad history of Kitty Pryde in the comics.
Or Morph, bro. They gotta bring in Morph.
More from the first episode of X-Men series.
That'd be legendary.
That shit was horrible. I would not do that at all.
He was just written there for one episode to die.
Had to start somewhere.
Dude, that'll be hilarious if the Disney Plus made a Morph Origins.
No fucking way. but essentially, I mean, aside from this and all these delays, there's pretty much I can smell it. It's gonna be a peekaboo moment where fucking like somebody like Tom Holland just pops up out of somewhere, or better yet, with those little like small inclination casting rumors of Keanu Reeves wanting to be Ghost Rider.
Oh, dude,
that could play into the effect. But the thing is, the way we look at the delays with Marvel are not the same that we look at them when we see them from DC.
Yeah.
When we see a delay from DC, we know basically give it a couple months, that movie's going to get shelved. It's going to get canceled.
Or reshoots left and right.
At least I know, because if you remember, Infinity War and Endgame both got delayed.
Yep.
They got delayed for a year. They were supposed to happen in the same year. They got delayed and they got split up. And then we got one year and one after. It was supposed to be Infinity War. And then 3 months later, we got Endgame, which would have been catastrophic. If I saw Infinity War and then 3 months later, I got to see Endgame, like people had to settle for a little bit.
Exactly. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like all the Avengers just got snapped away. You know,
like 3 months later.
3 months later, what the fuck? The lines in the theaters would be immense afterwards,
right?
So they needed time to build it up. So
and sell some goddamn toys and merchandise.
Exactly. Look, come on, man. This is all business. This is fiscal years. They're looking at their money year after year, revenue generating, profits that they're happening. That's the return on interest. I put all this money into production. I put all this money, all these actors to go to the gym and get steroids. Mm-hmm. Now I need to get the finished product out of here.
Exactly.
Everything
must go.
I'm giving these actors super soldier serum and they're showing up on set. That's exactly how they're looking.
Yeah.
But I have full faith in the man. I feel as though he's given us delays in the past and the delays were admirable. Now, do I feel as though because of Blade's Ripple Effect, it was merely just to give him time to get a director in the seat? Sure. How fast is this story going to get rewritten? And how fast is this going to get a director? Because they basically just said with Blade, let's get a new writer, a new director in here, and it's what it was supposed to. It's supposed to drop next year, November 6th, 2023. We'll give them a whole nother year. We'll give them September 6th, 2024. We'll give them 2 years to write the story, go into pre-production, and direct this shit.
But doesn't Mahershala Ali want out regardless?
I mean, there's rumors that he wants out, but to be honest, I don't think Feige wants him out. That man probably signed like a multi-movie deal.
Yeah.
So, no.
And he's a great, I mean, he got some great roles from his past work. And I know he can get other roles if he doesn't get the Marvel deal.
He's a 2-time Academy Award winning actor.
Yeah. With Marvel or not, he'll be all right.
He'll be fine. Absolutely. But the thing is, business is business. He signed a contract. It's kind of like those bad record deals that you hear about from them hip hop artists from way back in the day when they go home broke and everything.
Cash Money Records.
Everybody signed a baby. Baby's a trillionaire. Yeah. All the artists are broke. You know, it's like it's one of those situations. In other news, aside from that, we can go to DC for a moment because Black Adam's going to be released in the next week or so. And best believe we got a sneak peek of that pretty much coming up. Yep. But the thing is, Dwayne The Rock Johnson has been stirring the motherfucking pot because I will say this: the man, he's a showman, so he's probably exactly who DC needs. If he loves these movies so motherfucking much and he loves these characters so damn much, he'll talk them to death. He's a wrestler, of course. He knows how. He's got the gift of gab. Everybody loved The Rock from the 90s that would basically just like talk on in about any of his foes and shut up the whole crowd or have the whole crowd cheering for him and everything like that. So the rumor, and I can't even say it's a rumor because he's being very fucking subliminal, is that the fact that he is alluding to a cameo within this movie. It
doesn't matter what you say.
You know what I'm saying? He's alluding to a cameo in this movie from an existing DC character who we have not seen in a very, very long time. And that character is Superman.
Man, all right. Base your theories, base your supporting ideas on this.
The supporting ideas in this is that everybody, and I mean everybody, regardless of how they feel about Snyder Cut, DC, or anything like that, the one quintessential roundup of opinion is that Henry Cavill cannot leave Superman. He has to be Superman. He's the best Superman we've had in a very long time. I know there's only been 3. It's only been Christopher Reeves, fucking Brandon Routh, and him. But the thing is, I feel like he got the short end of the stick on this because they gave him Man of Steel. I don't know why they did it, but they gave him fucking Batman versus Superman. And then they murked him. They just straight up killed him.
Well, you think they murked him on the director's floor when they're cutting? Because I know there were extra scenes, right?
There was extra scenes in there, but I think quintessentially, if this was the lead up to Justice League and Zack Snyder was going to star it, and then they got Snyder out of there, brought in Joss Whedon and everything like that. I feel like the whole like moving the chains was supposed to be. I believe they wanted Superman to die and to be brought back to life. I feel like it was too soon. It was just way too soon. We didn't even get Man of Steel 2.
No,
we never. And everybody argues that like fucking there's been 4 Batman movies since Superman died.
Well, you have the freaking Twilight Batman. You have
exactly. You got anime Batman. You got Batman. You got Batman that smiles and laughs. Do
you know? Like, I'm asking this: does DC know what the fuck they're doing right now, or they're slowly?
Look, I think at the end of the day, they got to start paying attention to the fans. They have to.
Well, was the Snyder cut because of the fans?
You're absolutely right, but they listen to the wrong motherfucking fans.
Oh yes. Toxic fandom. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So they listen to the wrong fans. The fans that are basically saying, we want these storylines to build up. That's what you want. You want a Man of Steel 2 You know what I'm saying? Bring in his rogue gallery. You brought in Batman's. We've seen all. There hasn't been a Batman movie. Like, who else out of the rogue gallery could we do? How many Jokers are we going to go run through? Superman has a pretty established rogue gallery as far as villains are concerned.
Yeah,
we've only seen what Zod and Doomsday.
Okay.
You know, and maybe Darkseid if you want to put him up in that category. But you've yet to see like Brainiac, you know, like any of those characters. Like shit, you could throw Lobo into the mix if you want to.
Lobo,
but
that's
you know what I'm saying? Like, man. You have a slew of characters that you could throw out there in any of these movies, you know,
and they have good storylines. We can't just be the thing with DC is they smush so many superheroes in one time. And
they do that. That was the whole thing for that Batman versus Superman thing. Like I remember when they revealed it. That was also a San Diego Comic-Con moment where they revealed that was happening, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, Batman versus Superman!" Ended up being one of the dumbest pieces of shit that ever came out. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. But because the lead up to it ended up being what it was, he ended up dying in the movie, and this was the end game. And the thing is, most of those people that were in the Justice League back then are not even there anymore. Mm-mm. Like, I think the only two that you have left are Jason Momoa and Gal Gadot. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I'm sorry, Ezra Miller's back. So,
dude, I don't know. And Cyborg is reprising his role.
No.
Yeah.
He's not coming back.
Yeah. After the way right now. Look it up.
After the way he was treated.
Yeah, he's reprising his role.
Oh my God, I don't know about all that.
Maybe I read it on we got everythingcovered.com.
You might have read it on there. but the thing is, how the hell does Ezra Miller get through kidnapping kids and then be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna still do press and promo for when the Flash comes out?
Dude, I don't know what sit down happened with Ezra Miller and the WB, you know, about talking about reprising his role, man.
I don't know what the fuck happened. It's like they put the computer chip back in his head to be like, yo, shut up, bro.
Right. Yeah. Or they part of the contract is he's got to do 30 hours of therapy a week.
Fucking shock therapy or something like that.
Shit.
It seems like The Rock has a good head on his shoulders about doing the promo for DC and about maneuvering it forward, because but now people are genuinely upset at the fact that there might be a Black Adam versus Superman fight scene within one of their movies, and they have yet to see Darkseid and Superman square up because of the Snyder Cut. They were like, but the thing is, there has to be a lead up to Darkseid. It's not essentially saying, oh, you can't. Why would you replace Darkseid with Black Adam? I feel as though it was still super rushed.
Yep.
We had a 10-year lead up to Thanos.
Oh, yeah, we did.
10 years. Like, we saw glimpses of him. We saw him in Guardians of the Galaxy. Then we might have saw him in a Thor movie. And then finally we got to see him. Like, bro, the first Avengers movie, he was in the sky.
Yep.
Like, he wasn't coming down there.
Sending his little henchmen down.
That's it. But as soon as he went down there, he started wrecking shop.
Like, boss level.
Straight up. Mm-hmm. You got to have a build up. Everything doesn't have to be so rushed. Yep. Like, they fucked it up the first time.
Well, don't you think they're trying to catch up with Marvel?
Man, that is a track race that has been lost at least 5 years ago. You know, like, they are still running that race. I don't know how they could catch up. I mean, I realized The Rock being on the MTV Movie Awards of all things, saying "fuck Marvel" on the stage is not going to help your case. Like, it's just not.
Because fandom will strike back.
Oh, it would beyond a shadow of a doubt. It has no merit whatsoever.
Exactly.
Fandom will always reign supreme. I mean, it's horrible at times. It's good to be a fan nowadays because of how much nerd culture and geek culture and a lot of comic book shit and Star Wars shit and Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones shit is being brought out there. It's content for everybody. But yet, we are some of the worst fans on earth.
Well, are you comparing to the Star Wars fandom?
No, Star Wars fandom is beyond. It's crazy. people that love Star Wars, I pray for you people, consistently. I don't know how you do it, because the second a character gets introduced, y'all are ready to bust out your lightsabers, or as our brother Devin Wade would say, the barber clippers. So like that's y'all be ready to chop off heads, man. Y'all don't like shit. There's no satisfaction. There's no way of feeding your egos. There's no way of you even carrying on a conversation. It's just, it doesn't matter. What do you think of Henry Cavill coming back as Superman?
Well, like you said, he was born to play Superman, and Cable is a nerd. He plays computer games. He's all into comics and all that. So he will listen to the fans, and he will, accomplish his word by, being Superman until he says take a hike.
Yeah, I mean, it's either that or you going to continue to get paid $30 million per season doing Witcher. It doesn't matter to him.
Exactly. But he likes Superman.
He likes Superman. And I don't believe that anybody else could play it.
Nope. You're right.
Yep.
You're right.
So this is first off, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us here on another segment of Party Nerds News. This is Jorge Vergara.
Yeah.
And I am James Graham, Master Facts voice, and we are out.